Hi everyone, good afternoon. It is Sarah Shipton here from Scrapbooking with Sarah, and I'm coming live to you on Tuesday, the 8th of April with this week's Technique Tuesday class. And it's our first Technique Tuesday for April, for the month, which means we are going to be working with a new paper suite and a new scrapbooking workshop kit. So this is the first challenge for April, and today I am going to be introducing you to a new product that I have recently discovered the magic of, and that is the Adhesive Sheets. And I'm going to be using the Adhesive Sheets today with some of our alphabet die cuts, and also demonstrating the Take Your Pick tool and the die brush set specifically. So that is what I'm going to be teaching, sharing and showing you today. But before we get into the hands-on portion of the class, let's talk a little bit about this week's scrapbooking challenge. Okay, so this week we are creating pattern number 9, which is from the Make It From Your Heart Volume 1 book. And we are doing a double page spread layout. I have to say this is another one of my favorite scrapbooking layouts that I love to create. And the reason for that being is that you can actually rotate the layout so you can incorporate either landscape or portrait photos with it. The paper suite that I am working with for this month is called Storybook Moments. However, these were leftover papers from my Storybook Life scrapbooking workshop kit, and I'm going to be sharing that scrapbooking workshop kit and the 3 layouts that you can create from that with you today. And the really cool thing is that the scrapbooking workshop kit Storybook Life coordinates with the paper suite collection, which is called Storybook Moments. So a little confusing there, but basically if you just remember the word storybook, then you know that you will be across it in all of the products from both the suite and the scrapbooking workshop kit. So for the double page spread, you are going to have 2 coordinating sheets of either plain cardstock, or you can use your designer series paper. And then we are going to be cutting a strip that runs right through this section here of your scrapbooking layout. So you will need a sheet of paper for that. Now in this particular cutting instructions, it shows piece A and piece F as being 2 separate sheets of paper. However, I actually decided to do the 1 sheet of paper, as you can see running through here. I think it looks much more coordinating, and I just like the way that the eye just flows really easily there from basic left to basic right. Oh, we've got a lot of people watching here today. I've just had a quick look at my camera. I'm going to say a quick hello to Doreen and Brenda and also Miss Kayla. Lovely to see you guys online today, ladies. You must be really excited to learn what we are going to be sharing today. So I'm excited to share with you. All right, so you're going to need really, I would maybe just go with 1 pattern sheet of paper. So you can cut that and run that through the middle of your layout there. So you're going to need a 12-inch strip and also a 10¼ inch strip in length, and they're going to be measuring 1½ inches in width. Now, if you are using a pattern like I have through the middle here with the strawberries, you're going to want to make sure that when you cut those strips of paper that you've got the pattern running the same way so it flows really evenly from left to right across your page. You are also going to need a 2nd sheet of paper, and that is going to be for your border strip through here, and then also for the bit of paper that is popping out here on the right hand side of the page underneath the photo and your bordered strip. So you can see here that I've opted for Calypso Coral cardstock running down my page and then just here to the right hand side. So this strip here is measuring 11½ inches in length and 2¼ inches wide. And then your piece for the right hand side of your page is measuring 2 1/4 inches wide, and 3 1/2 in length. Okay, so I have put the layout instructions and the cutting instructions in our Facebook group for you. You will also have, now the reason why they suggested matching paper for pattern 3 was so you were going to have a strip of paper down the left hand side here and then a strip here, but I actually just opted to have a standout pattern piece of paper. So this was the leftover designer series paper from my Storybook Life scrapbooking workshop kit. I thought just having that one there as a standout, like, kind of really, it did pop, right? And you can see that quite nicely against the plainness of the cardstock. What would really cool as well, you could even run this cardstock through an embossing folder if you just wanted to pimp up your layout a little bit. I do love running my cardstock through an embossing folder. Makes quite a big difference there. And then you are going to need another sheet of paper for the larger rectangle on the left hand side, which also matches the base of your journaling box. Okay, so your large piece is cut at 9 by 6 inches, and then the pattern piece for your journaling box, so this is like a mat or a border, that's at 3 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches. And then the inside of your journaling box, you've got quite a thicker border around here. The inside of the journaling box is measuring at 2 3/4 by 2 inches. Okay. Now, the really cool thing about having this larger square of pattern paper here on your left-hand side, you can see here in the instructions that they've actually put a 7 by 5 inch photo on top of that large pattern piece of paper. And in both examples, they've matted it. I didn't have a 7 by 5 inch photo. So the really cool thing, as you can see here, is that I have used 2 4 by 6 inch landscape photos, and I have matted them. I've got this in my memory protector with a flip flap on the top there. I have matted my photos so you don't see a huge amount of your pattern border around the outside if you're going to put 2 4 by 6 inch landscape photos on top here. But I have matted them with a cardstock in Lost Lagoon, and that's measuring 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, which is just a standard matte photo size. I have also used my Lost Lagoon to mat all of my photos on the right hand side of the layout as well. So you're not going to see that in your cutting instructions here, just as a reference there. You will need an extra sheet or 2 sheets of cardstock, so then you can mat those photos. Initially I wasn't going to, but then they really kind of needed some color behind that, and I love to have a Lost Lagoon cardstock tied in really nicely with the colors in my photos. So that's all of your cutting instructions for the layout. I've popped a flip flap over the top. This is another tip that I love to give, that if you don't have another landscape photo to put over the top of your photo, what I like to do is stick my photos back to back before I put them in a flip flap. You can see here I've cut 2 photos down at 3 by 4 inches, and I've stuck them onto the back of a 4 by 6 inch photo. Okay, so that worked out really well. I've only just got my face in. That was a selfie. These photos were taken, some of you might recognize this because this is like one of those kind of like iconic world famous bars and views. I will say this is the C'est La Vie bar, which is a rooftop bar at the top of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which I went to for the very first time in 2016 while I was on a netball trip with Kayla. And I could not wait to take Darren and Jai here. We had a stopover in Singapore a couple of years ago. We flew to London and we had a 1-night stopover in Singapore. So we got the MRT from the airport where we were staying for the night, and I took the boys up to the rooftop bar at Marina Bay Sands. And look at that view. Is that just not stunning? Like, I just love it. It's so gorgeous. We had some Singapore slings and some tiger beers, and then we went for dinner and then back to the hotel for a big sleep before the next leg of our flight. So let me tell you, that is my hot tip. If you are flying to the UK, a stopover in Singapore on the way there or back to break that flight up is sensational. You can get a nice sleep and you've got 2 daytime flights. So a little bit of travel tip there for you girls. You know, I do love my travel photos. So really special time with the boys, beautiful memories that I made, and I've journaled about that here in my journaling box with my photos. So let's go in now. I'm going to get straight into the how-to with this particular Technique Tuesday, and then I am going to close with showing you the 3 scrapbooking layouts from the scrapbooking workshop kit and the leftovers that I had from my kit that allowed me to create with this particular layout. So I want to create a title for my layout, and I'm probably going to run the letters along the paper here. I think I might even put it up here yet. Let's cut them first and then we'll see how we go. I haven't gone too overboard with the embellishing on this particular layout, admittedly, because in all honesty, the leftover stickers and die cuts from the Storybook Life scrapbooking workshop kit, it has very much like, if you look at the marketing photos, it's got like a little bit of a Easter theme, a baby theme. Obviously, this is a travel. I just loved how the color of the strawberries. And okay, it was a little bit strawberry orientated with my Singapore sling there, even though it's cherries and not strawberries, but who cares, right? It doesn't matter. I've got my photos on my layout. I've got my story there. Boom, our night in Singapore captured. Absolutely love it. And now I just need to finish it off with a title. I did use a couple of the leftover, I had a sticker and leftover die cut where I've put the little tab in here for my journaling date, the sticker Sunshine and Warm Days, and I've used a couple of the little dots, the antique pearls, I should say. Now, these antique pearls are actually not included in the scrapbooking workshop kit. This was an additional purchase that I made. So these antique pearls form a part of the Storybook Moments Suite collection. So you can buy these as a separate purchase. And what I did was I added it onto the purchase of my Storybook Life scrapbooking workshop kit because I do love bling. I feel like just adding that little bit of bling to your layout really helps to lift that. So I'm just going to pop those layouts off to the side, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because we are going to be using that today to cut my letters. Now, initially, I was going to demonstrate the Alphabet Alamo dies with the adhesive sheets, but I have used these dies quite a lot lately. So my tip to you is if you are wanting to use these dies, then definitely invest in a packet of the adhesive sheets. Now, I cannot believe, honestly, like, did I know I had these in the catalogue? Yes. Had I used them before? No. When I saw them used, did I just go, oh my gosh, mind blown? Yes. What that says to you is that even after 23 years of teaching scrapbooking, I am still finding new products and new ways, or quicker, more innovative ways to do my titles or my embellishments on my scrapbook layouts. I do not know everything. I love having an open mind and a growth mindset and learning new things as well. So I would definitely be encouraging you to invest in a packet of the adhesive sheets. I will put, you get 12 sheets of adhesives in here. You can see that where I've cut them down, or I've got adhesive now left over on the top of some cardstock. I will pop links in the comments below to the product that I'm sharing with you today. So I have used these Alphabet Alamo dies quite a lot lately. I wanted to demonstrate it with these dies. I just like these letters better for this layout. So I'm just going to take the dies out of their packaging. I did invest in some magnetic sheets to hold my dies in place, because it was kind of doing my head in a little bit having them on the cardstock. And the really cool thing about using these dies is that when I run this through, I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine once, but it's actually going to cut out all of these little letters, okay? So I just felt that these letters were going to look better on this particular layout. So I have opted for some Lost Lagoon cardstock for my die cutting, and this is already cut and ready to rock and roll, so it's going to look perfect, measuring perfectly for my dies. So I've got a strip of my adhesive sheets here, and what I'm going to do is, if I was to look at that, the adhesive sheets have actually got backing on them, okay? So when I peel this off, the adhesive glue is going to be underneath it. What I'm going to do before I run this through my die cutting and embossing machine is just cut the width down that I need, because if I take off, you want to check that, if I take off both of these adhesive strips, I'm going to have I don't know if you can see that line there. I think it's 2 inches off the top of my head. I think it's 6 inches wide. So there's these 3 2-inch strips on the back of the adhesive sheet. If I was to peel these 2 off, then I'm going to have this extra adhesive here, which I don't want, okay? So what I'm going to do is grab my trimmer, my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, and I'm just going to measure this bit of Lost Lagoon that I've got here. That is measuring at 3 1/4 inches. So I don't want to have excess adhesive on my adhesive sheet. So I'm going to pop that in the trimmer, line that up at 3 1/4 inches. And I'm going to cut that excess bit off. And I might just pop, let's measure the length of this Lost Lagoon cardstock here. So this is at 7 3/4. So I'm going to cut that little bit of extra adhesive off. I don't want any extra adhesive there. Okay, and then I'll pop my trimmer aside. And you also want to check which way you want your cardstock up, okay? So I want the darker of the Lost Lagoon. This is two-tone Lost Lagoon. I did invest in a packet of the two-tone cardstock that coordinated with this paper suite, and I want the darker side of the Lost Lagoon so it coordinates with my, oh, maybe I went the lighter side. I think I did. I've gone the lighter side with the cardstock. This is the sticker. So these little border stickers here were left over. So we are doing this the lighter side up, okay? So when I peel, I'm going to peel my backing of my adhesive sheets off and try not to get adhesive over myself here. Because I did this on Saturday when I was demonstrating this, trying to get the sticky bit off, and it was like starting to peel up everywhere. Eek. Okay, and then I want this face up, so I'm going to just sit this over the top of my adhesive sheet. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of lining that up, but that's okay. We will be all good. And then I'm going to put, so you can see I've got the adhesive sheet on the backing here of my cardstock. So I'm going to put my die cut over the top of my cardstock that I'm going to cut. Grab my plates, 1, 2, and the set of 3 for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I'm just going to use some washi tape just to hold this in place. I think I need some more washi tape here just to hold this in place so it doesn't go. Rightio. So I'll pop plate number 3 over the top. So I'm going to run this now through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You can hear that getting cut as I'm running it through. And take that out and take the washi tape off. And this little bit of washi tape off. Okay, now because these are new plates, you can see that most of my letters have cut out really nicely, but I do have some still stuck inside of the die cutting, inside of the die cut, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop that out of the way for now. I want to show you the, move this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine off my desk. I want to show you the die cut. This is the Take Your Pick tool. So when you purchase this tool, it does have different, it's got like a putty end on this end, and then you've got this little pokey tool and spatula in the other end, okay? You can actually rotate that around. So what I could do here is with my little pokey bit, actually poke all of the letters out that way, okay? But that's going to be really time consuming. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick die brush. So you can buy this die brush tip separately, and it comes with 2 of these foam mats. And I'm just going to pop my die brush tip into the end of my Take Your Pick tool. And then I can rub this brush over the top of my die, and those little brush tips, as I roll that over, you can see it getting in those little holes. I've got to do this side here. And my letters are popping out really nicely. I've still got the eye there. So these are quite hard, these little brush ends. And I've just got those extra letters out, okay? Now, the letters I want, where are my tweezers? I tell you what, this is something that I use time and time again. I do not know what I would do without my tweezers. And Stampin' Up! Do sell tweezers, but they come as part of the embossing set. So I want my letters for Singapore. We need an I, we need an N. These, I don't need those. So I need an A, Singapore. I need a G, 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 G. Where's my G? So the thing that I love about this set here is that it actually cuts out all these letters, and I can put these leftover letters. I actually invested in a little container, a little storage container to store them in. I could run my die brush over these as well. I'm just going to grab these out quickly for the sake of the video today. Oh, Singer P-O. I need an O, O-R, and I need an E. Alrighty, there's my Singapore. I'll just pop those to the side and I will fix those a little later. So what we're going to do now, I need to figure out where I want my title to go. And this is why I love my tweezers so much, because quite often I like to just pop things, or I already feel like that's where it's going to be. I feel like that's going to look good up there. Or if I was to do it this way, I feel like I would do it on the side. Singapore. I think I'm going to want it. What do you girls think? Should I do it on the left or on the right? I feel like it's going to stand out a little better over here. Emily's joined us as well. Hi, Emily. How are you? So I'm just going to pop my letters over the top here. Just get them all in spot. And then I'm going to show you how you can peel your adhesive backing off. So when I ran this through the die cutting and embossing machine, you can see that it has actually cut out my die, and the adhesive sheet is on the back of my letter. So all I have to do now is peel off the adhesive backing at the top, on the back of it, and then my letters are going to already have the adhesive on there. Now, some of you already asked me, we did this on Saturday at my team demo day, and they were like, how do you get it off? You can use tweezers. You can use your little Take Your Pick tool. Maybe the spatula end would be handy for that. If anyone else has got something different that they would use, please pop it in the comments below. But I love my tweezers. Now, which way is my S going up? I think it was the way that I had it before. So I've taken the adhesive backing off, and I've got adhesive all on the back of my S. So I'm just going to line this up here now, and with my tweezers I can press that down. Oh my gosh, stop. It looks so good. I can't believe it took me so long to figure this out. You're all going to want these adhesive sheets now, girls. I promise you. It's going to make your life so much easier. Now, what else would you use this for? Obviously, those really thin alphabet dies. I can't believe all this time I was sticking them down with like a fine tip glue pen. Or what else was I using? I was using the mini glue dots, and it was taking forever. And then the thing with the mini glue dots, right, is that the dots themselves are actually bigger, and they're bigger than the letter. And so what I was doing was kind of like folding the dot over on itself, but then it was making it like chunky. And then I'd go to stick my letters down, and like you could see that the letters were looking bumpy. They went flat on my scrapbook page. And that might not bother some of you, and some it might bother. we all have our own little idiosyncrasies, right, girls? So I just love how easy this is by peeling that backing off, and now I can stick these on and it'd be so flat and easy. Is this just not going to like change your life? I know that my daughter's going to be watching this and she's like, Saz, she calls me Saz. That's my nickname. She's like, Saz, why didn't you tell me about this before? Because she's been doing a lot of titles in her scrapbook layout of her scrapbook layouts to Europe. She's been doing lots of titles and she would have been sticking them on in just the way that I taught her, with the glue dots or the adhesive, and it would have been doing her head in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my title Singapore there, and it's going to look so good. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not like getting too pedantic about it. But what I want to do now is show you guys the other 3 scrapbook layouts from Storybook Life. My little tweezers here. Do you know what would be really fun as well with these? I'm wondering if we could use the little little rub and remove eraser. I wonder if that will work, peeling off the back of that. It just looks so flat and I can stick it down. So basically the adhesive sheets turn all of your cardstock and all of your dies into stickers, which I absolutely love. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm just going to punch out in the middle of my little pea here. So I know you are going to want to add these adhesive sheets to your wish list. And I want to apologize that I hadn't cottoned on to the awesomeness of this product sooner and that you've waited so long. Now, I know some of you girls have already ordered the adhesive sheets before and some of you have used them as well, but I've actually never, can you believe it? I've never actually taught with these adhesive sheets. So what I want to say to you is thank you for your patience with me and how cool that we can learn these things off of each other. And thank you to my customers and also some of my fellow demonstrators for telling me how awesome these adhesive sheets are and how much they are going to make my life, as long as you can peel the backing off, my life so much easier. I just love it. I think they're so cool. So I'm going to finish that title and then I'm going to take new photos of this particular layout and I'm going to post it in our Facebook group once I've finished that. So I'm going to keep my embellishments for that one pretty simple. So they are the adhesive sheets. I will post them in our Facebook group. Now, as you can see here, this is not included in the kit. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. With your Storybook Life Scrapbooking Workshop kit, you can see there was actually quite a bit of designer series paper left over. So, and these are exclusive sheets of paper as well, which is kind of a little crazy to me because the exclusive sheets of paper, you can't buy these separately. They don't come in the DSP that you can buy on their own. So I really wanted to use the blue and the strawberries because you literally are you are not using much of this paper at all with this kit, okay? You get 2 sheets of both of that exclusive paper. There's not much stickers left over or die cuts left over from the Scrapbooking Workshop kit, but I did invest in a packet of the cardstock, the 2-tone cardstock. So this is Wild Wheat and, oh my gosh, I've forgotten it. Oh, Old Olive and Boho Blue. You get 2 sheets of each, the 2-tone. Calypso Coral, that's the right way up, that's the lighter side, and then Lost Lagoon. So I did invest in a packet of the 2-tone cardstock. The reason I've been doing that is because it won't be until May 6 until we have all of the Stampin' Up! Colours available to buy in single packs of 2-tone. So by getting the cardstock assortment packs in 2-tone, you're getting a little bit of a pre-sampler of the cardstock, which is super cool. I also purchased a packet of the little 6x6 inch timeless plaid paper. So you are going to see me create with this. I did share this in my video last week, but this 6x6 inch paper pack coordinates with the Storybook Moments designer series paper and sticker sheet and the workshop kit. And now I am going to share with you the scrapbooking layouts. I have got these in memory protectors, and the reason for that being is I have flip flaps on the top, and oh, hang on, that one wasn't on there properly. This is a flip flap on a flip flap, which is just the coolest thing ever. So these photos were taken in Singapore on that same, actually no, different trip. This was in 2016 on the netball trip that I went on with Kayla. And we have got some photos here of Tulip Mania, which was in Gardens by the Bay. These photos, super cute. I use the search function on my Photos app on my mobile phone. And I typed in the word rabbit and bunny. And I had completely forgotten I'd even gone here. But this is Riverdale Estate, which is in Hobart. And it's this super cute little Beatrix Potter. I don't know what you call it. It was like a display, a Beatrix Potter display, like memorabilia. And then I had this super cute little Peter Rabbit garden. So when I searched for the word rabbit, this photo came up and I was like, oh my gosh, I can scrapbook these photos of us here with some of my scrapbooking sisters at Beatrix Potter, at the Beatrix Potter display with the Peter Rabbit garden. I thought that was so cute. We did a little bit of stamping here with the butterflies. And then this is layout number 3 from the Storybook Life Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. This was our daughter Kayla's 17th birthday. I never in a million years would have thought to use these photos with these papers. You can see you've got the strawberries through here. You were so sweet. Again, I use the search function on my iPhone in my Cameras app to find these photos, and all of these photos popped up because of the strawberries sitting on the front of the cake. I did a search for the word strawberries and all those photos popped up. So a really cool way. Admittedly, I kind of struggled when I saw this scrapbooking workshop kit and I didn't think that I would find anything that would coordinate with it. So if you are feeling the same way, then please use the search function in your Photos app on your mobile phone, because I'm sure that you will be pleasantly surprised with what photos you come up with. And here again, I am using travel photos for a suite which was really marketed towards Easter and baby photos. So you definitely can think outside the box. And every month I'm getting at least 3 scrapbooking layouts done with my scrapbooking workshop kit, and then using the leftovers each week for a weekly challenge. So I'm really getting 7 to 8 layouts done a month, and I have more than a completed album at the end of the year. So please use your scrapbooking workshop kits. They are super beneficial. I really hope that you've enjoyed me demonstrating the adhesive sheets today with the Take Your Pick tool and the die brush set. I will be sure to pop comments below with links to all the products that I have demonstrated for you today. Thank you all for watching live, those of you, and if you're on the replay, I appreciate that too. Have a great week, and I can't wait to see your layouts. Bye for now.